Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're going to make this time field right here functional, so that whenever the video is playing, this gets updated as the video progresses. So let's open up our JavaScript file inside the text editor, and let's add a new variable for the time field. Time field equals document.getElementById, and let's see I think we've called it time dash field. Let's just take a quick look inside our HTML file. Yeah, there's our time field. Alright. Now, we're not going to add an event listener to this time field because we won't be clicking it. However, we're going to modify our update player function a little bit. Not only do we want to update the width of the progress bar as the video is playing, but we also want to change the inner text on the time field. And to do that, we're going to call the inner HTML property on that element. I will set it equal to a function get formatted time. And let's create this function right now. Function get formatted time. And let's create a variable called seconds and set it equal to the current time of the video. Because when we call this, it's going to give us this property will return a value in seconds, saying how many seconds have already passed in the video. So if we just return that seconds variable and refresh the browser and try to play it, you'll notice that this time field gets updated. However, the time isn't formatted very nicely, and that's something that I'd like to change. The first thing that I want to change is I don't want to see all these milliseconds and all these decimal numbers, so let's just round this number to an integer. So instead of setting it equal to the current time, let's just call the math.round function on that current time. And now when we refresh the browser and try to play it, you'll notice that it's only showing the seconds, so that's a lot better. Now, because we want to display the elapsed time in a format like this, for instance 1 minute and 32 seconds, or maybe if we have a longer video 3 minutes and 32 seconds, we need to get the number of minutes that have already passed. And in order to do that, let's create a variable called minutes. And let's set it equal to seconds divided by 60, and this will effectively give us the minutes. However, also this number we need to round, but this time not to the nearest integer, but to the lowest integer by using the math floor function. Because, for instance, if 59 seconds have passed, not a single minute has passed yet, so 59 divided by 60 would then be rounded to 0. However, if we had 61 seconds, 61 divided by 60 would be a little bit more than 1, so this would be rounded to 1, giving us the correct number of minutes that have passed. Now, for instance, if we quickly return the minutes and try to play it, you're gonna notice that it's always saying 0, because our video is only like 6 seconds long, so a minute will never pass. But I will demonstrate this with a longer sample video in a minute. So let's see. The next thing that we need to do is format this a little bit nicely into a format which looks like this. So let's just return something like minutes plus, let's add a colon there, plus seconds. Alright, if we now refresh it, try to play it again, you're gonna see that it looks a little bit nicer already. However, I still want to add a leading 0 to this number in case there's only one digit, so to speak. So for now I wanted to display 03 instead of just 3 in the seconds field. Now we can easily test if there are currently 2 digits being displayed by converting that seconds number into a string by calling the toString method, and then using the length property of that string. And if the length is equal to 1, let's just add a leading 0 to it. Seconds equals 0 plus seconds. Alright, and now if we refresh it again, notice how we get this leading 0. And by the way, I think it's about time to switch to a longer sample video. So inside our player HTML, I'm going to switch this sample.mp4 file with a longer sample video that I already got inside my project folder. Now you can also use any longer MP4 version that you got, just so we can test some of these things that we're doing. For me, it's just called long sample.mp4, so I will change this to long sample. If we now refresh the browser, and let's just try to click somewhere, you'll see that it's still working. However, when we get to the end, you'll notice that a slight error occurs, because instead of displaying 01, it's still displaying 1 minute 61. So whenever a minute has passed, we need to subtract 60 seconds actually. So let's fix this right now. Let's go back into our JavaScript file. And let's write something if more than a minute has passed. So if minutes is greater than 0, I just want to subtract all those minutes that have already passed. So I'm going to write seconds minus, and we're going to subtract minutes times 60. So for instance, if we have a video which is at 80 seconds, it will notice that this minutes variable is equal to 1 in this case. So this gets executed, and it's going to subtract the number of minutes, which in this case is 1 times 60. So if we have if we're at 80 seconds in our video, 60 will be subtracted and it will only show 20. So let's actually try this right now in the browser by refreshing it. And let's play it again. And if we now go to about a minute, you'll see that it has started over again. But there was a small error. I think we should actually switch these functions. That will be better. Because here we are turning it into a string, and we want to do that at the very end when we don't need to do any calculations anymore with this seconds variable. So let's try to save that and test it again. And now if we play the video and skip a little bit, everything's still working. And when we get to about 55 seconds, let's see what happens. And as you can see, everything is working. Alright, so that's actually the time elapsing field. Now the other small thing that I want to add is a field where you can see how long the video takes, what the duration of the video is. And to do that, we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to create a variable called total seconds. And let's set that equal to math.round video.duration. Just like we did here. Now let's create a variable called total minutes. And that's we're going to set that equal to the floor function on total seconds divided by 60, and the idea is exactly the same as here. So if total minutes is greater than 0, again I want to change this total seconds variable, so only the remainder gets shown. Total seconds, and we're going to subtract total minutes times 60. And if there's only one digit in the total number of seconds, so if total seconds dot toString dot length is equal to 1, let's just add a leading 0 to it. And now instead of just returning the elapsed time, let's also return the duration of the video separated by this /. Total minutes plus, let's add a colon again, and let's end up with the total seconds. Alright, and if we now save that and try to load it one more time and play it, You will notice that it also shows the duration of the video, which is kind of nice. Now, if we also want to show the duration directly when the video loads, we should run this update, this update player function also when the video has loaded. And this is very easily done. Just below in this can play event listener, let's just run the update player function. And now whenever we load the video, we're not going to see 000 here for the duration, but rather we're going to see the actual video duration. Alright, so that's actually all about the time field. All the source code will of course be available at cocotuts.com. So if you've wrapped your head around this and you're ready to move on, I'd like to see you in the next video. So thank you for watching and I'll see you then.